A beautiful yogini told me once, the mind thinks just like the heart beats. So a lot of people go at war with their mind when they first start their path, or try to control it, call it even the ego, manipulate it. It's really not that. The mind's waiting for us. It's just waiting for us to come back to ourselves. And so when we start to really embody our breath, our physical environment, the mind naturally, it's like calling it back home, because the mind is the creating force behind creating anything. A thought creates our reality. My name is Crystale Pauvert, and I'm honored to be here today. So, what do I do? I feel like it's my mugshot, but better. As a sacred touch therapist, the service that I offer is a complete balance between physical awareness and movement. So it could be yoga, but it could be dance. It could be anything that's called movement. There's the connection to your breath. So there's that mindfulness aspect. So you're bringing your awareness of your mind, your thoughts. There's the emotional connection. And the emotional connection is very interesting because we have an emotional body, and a lot of us, from the majority of our life, have not been taught the tools on working with emotional intelligence. So what ends up happening is we've been taught very false beliefs that, men don't cry, boys don't cry, women are too emotional. We have some very negative ways of looking at what is really our humanity. My thing about working with people has been to assist them on realizing that they have their own natural ways of finding a balance between their alchemical responses in their physical body through emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual awareness. And when they do that, they don't need a pill. If they do, it's been so long that they've been disconnected to themselves that absolutely the West is beautiful and we have so many ways of bringing people back. However, we're being bombarded with not honoring and empowering ourselves, but rather than just having a quick fix, which is never a fix. It's only a band-aid, really, with a huge gash. So, not to be so visual. So yeah, I create an environment that feels safe and that can really bring in people into their physical environment. So I play very specific music. I'll dim the lights. I'll use candles, so it's hearing, seeing. I'll use incense, aromatherapy, right? So that it can assist on a very deep way. I experienced yoga for the first time by myself for 2 weeks at home, and it was the first time I physically felt aligned. I had this peace I had never experienced before, and I had been searching on what do I want to do? What do I want to create in my life? What kind of work do I want? And I've always felt motivated to work with people, to be in service in some ways, and to also keep learning and growing. So yoga was kind of like a perfect thing for me. But I also went into yoga teacher training to face my fears, because I couldn't even ask a question in the class. It would petrify me. All of this has assisted me on self-love, and I've seen the big impact of self-love and how it's changed me in my environment, and I want to share that with the world. I don't prepare for my classes. They're always different. People are constantly coming to me after the class saying, how did you know that I needed that? Or did you do this class for me? Like, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. And they're like, no, you were doing everything. I'm like, no, listen, I know nothing. I ask and I know everything. I get myself out of the way of what I think people need or what they should do, or plan it out and just allow. And this allowing has helped me to increase and understand my ability to be empathic. Trusting, even like as I'm walking on the mat, even as I'm teaching, not knowing the next pose. And I've seen myself freak out inside, like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. And it's like, relax. And then I just teach it. It just comes out of my mouth, and it's exactly what needed to happen. So yeah, surrender, trust is the process. Before you can tap into your spirit, your soul, the universe, or anything else that you've heard so far, it'll be impossible until you actually ground yourself in your humanity. Being human, being physical, is the the most real experience that we have right now. But the majority of people are not in their bodies. They're not aware of their five senses. They're not aware of how their body feels inside, and they're constantly in the mental chatter. They're in their heads, so they're past and future, past and future. So my task as a leader, I guess in that sense, is to assist people to align themselves in their inherent natural nature. We're constantly taught that we must be busy, and if we're not being a functional human being. So we're working all day, we're bombarded by all the tasks we have to be doing as parents or as people. We have TV, which pushes us even further away into business, because now we have no more time to be aware of our own reality, and we find it more pleasurable to watch other people's realities, and a lot of times they're pretty fucked up. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Crazy things that we watch on TV, that we pay people to make us watch so we can just forget our pain. And that's what it is. We're just constantly forgetting our pain. We're numbing our pain down. We're pushing away. But every single human being that is in that state knows. They feel it. But they don't know what to do about it. Or they're constantly busying themselves so they don't have to feel that emptiness. The twist to that is you're taught that emptiness is bad. But when someone finally realizes that there's this void, this emptiness, but it's actually not a bad thing. It's not even a negative thing. It's actually quite beautiful. This void and emptiness is actually waiting to be filled with yourself, with your own love, with your own courage and joy and peace. Yeah, I oscillate between pain and love, and I think that this is a constant flow of being human, and I try not to judge myself anymore when I go to those places. And I actually found that when I allow myself to get into those darker places, which is just a deeper layer, when I come out of it, I have way more understanding for myself of how to create more inner peace, but also of the world too.